Welcome back. Things are moving right along over here. We've got several different areas of the project that we're attacking kind of at one time. Most importantly, I wanted to see how blending the two surfaces or the variety of thicknesses in the ceiling was going to go. What happened here was this wall between the kitchen and what she's going to use as the dining room being removed. You can see now that the kitchen was renovated and they took everything off the studs of the ceiling and the wall, the joists, down to bare framing basically, and put up 1/2-inch drywall, which is nice. And the wall that used to be here made a nice transition from that to the old material on the old ceiling, which is a buildup of a board, a board of a certain thickness first in small pieces because it was really heavy, and then a very thick layer of plaster to tie everything in smooth. But that wanders around and adds a lot of thickness. So as you can see on this side, we added a 1/4-inch rip of like a Luan. This is a hardwood plywood. It's 3 plies and a veneer on both sides, which ends up being 5 layers basically, rather than a underlayment or something that's real cheap squishy foam. This actually was, everything's up now in price, and so despite that I would still pick up a relatively expensive sheet of 1/4-inch just to do this because I want a real 1/4-inch up there. But I got a discount on this one because it's oak veneer and the edges got wet on this edge and the other, and the layers have delaminated and stuff, and I said, some people may want a full sheet. I don't need a full sheet, but I'll still buy it. I just asked them at the register, is there anything you can do? So they take a little bit off for you, which is nice. So we're going from an added 1/4-inch on this side, which you can see there, through. We did pull tight here, which ordinarily, if this was a perfect flat surface, we'd be have a gap here and a slightly smaller gap there, and then we've landed here next to the 1/2-inch drywall again. Now the reason that we go this far is because for every, if we had added a 1/4-inch here and nothing there, then that piece sits in there at an extreme angle. For every joist that we move over, we lose, we double the distance that we're running, so we have the offset. And at this point, we've tripled the distance that we've traveled, so we've divided the offset by 3. So we continue to make this easier to fly together and smooth out. Now we could keep going until it's basically nothing. But we'd either have to go a full 8 feet, so we used a full board, or everything past 1/2 a sheet of drywall is waste. We put a 5-foot or a 6-foot piece in and we throw the other stuff. I mean, not totally thrown out, but on this project, it would be wasteful. So we went 44 inches here, got us from center to center, and we used both halves of a sheet here, and it makes a nice smooth transition that'll be easy to blend with some mud. And we quickly routed in our, those metal. What we did was take the light fixture back out again, and I take the pigtail to the driver box and just hook it up and out of the way, so when I plunge and cut out with my drywall router, this guy, we don't get a hold of it and trash the wire. So that was how we do the quick circles. He traces the metal opening, so it makes a nice clean, if I could pull this back out of here, makes a clean circle hole. It won't need to be finished because the bezel of the light fixture covers it. Really nice. We're moving right along. Then we threw some insulation in the outside wall here. She may want to do patio doors in the future, but it's just the best practice. You got to get the insulation in here. It can be put somewhere else. Rock wool is excellent. For a 2x4 wall, we get R15 rather than R13, which is what you get out of fiberglass insulation, and fiberglass makes it itchy. So this stuff is almost like it's like clay. It's easier to cut and measure in place, and fiberglass is softer and fluffier, and it's just difficult to keep it from, you have to have really fine skills when you're cutting and fitting it. You'd be surprised. This is a little more forgiving, so it's in there now, and we insulated up there too at the rim joist, which is how it should be. None of the, you go around the house, even if your walls are insulated downstairs and up, the ceiling goes right out empty to the rim joist, which is just the 2x10 and the 2x8 outside, and so really you're just leaving all your heat rise to this first floor ceiling and bleed through and out the sidewall of the house without insulation. So insulation theory and practice and standards have completely changed since this house was framed, and so while we're in here we'll do that much. And here's another instance where we want to be at the face of the jamb for a door like this, and we looked at this at the A-frame project. We need to be with the drywall, you got to be flush with the jamb. If it's too high, it's a mess. If it's too low, it's a mess. And we needed a 1/4 inch here too, so we just threw a few rips on here, Luan, and we'll put this piece on today too. So we'll get him on there. We'll put a full sheet just vertically, which is normally you do 2 horizontals on the wall, but that would just make us a seam here. So we'll do a full sheet there, vertical. We got another one here, a 3rd one there. We bought 4 today, and I may even get this wonky boy in here. He'll be like a Tetris piece so that we come out to a nice smooth flat edge. In fact, we might get out here, and then that would mean that we could go right through and all the way over to there. And we got the drywall hoist our buddy Don lent us, which I need periodically but not often enough to buy one, so that'll work nice to get our bigger sheets up in the middle here. But very pleased. Things are moving along real nice. All right, thanks for joining us. Come back and see us again soon. All right, later.